Thanks for joining us for this week's Ritter Report. I'm Riley.
And I'm Logan.
Please stand for the national anthem performed by senior choir members Morgan Miskelin and Ace Lowline.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's almost February, and that means love is in the air. Celebrate Valentine's Day by stopping in the Hub and picking up a blind date with a book.
All month long, you can stop by and pick a book from the Blind Date with Books display. These books are individually wrapped with a few hints as to what the book is about.
Each book includes a review sheet inside the cover. Once you finish reading, return the book. Everyone that completes a review will be entered into a prize drawing at the end of February.
Blind dates will be available all month long, so check out as many as you want.
Attention all junior and senior guys. The junior class is in need of more contestants for the annual Mr. PHS contest.
If you are interested in participating, you should see Mr. Gussie today. It is a fun show and an experience you will never forget.
In other news, ticket sales for Once Upon a Mattress are currently on sale.
Shows will be Saturday, February the 15th and 22nd at 7 p.m. and Sunday the 16th and 23rd at 2 p.m.
If you're interested in buying a ticket, they can be purchased for $8 at PulaskiHS.Ludus.com.
Looking for a job? The Pulaski Community School Pool is looking for lifeguards.
If hired, you will be trained and would make $15 an hour. Job responsibilities include teaching or assisting in swim lessons, lifeguarding and rotations, and crew chief.
Contact Nick Hayden at 920-822-6060 if interested.
Next, Mr. Shaw reached a huge milestone in his coaching career. RSN reporter Austin Monroe spoke with him to tell you more.
Just recently, Mr. Shaw has been inducted into the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame as a part of the class of 2025, and I went to the Red Raider room to ask him a few questions about his coaching career.
Well, I grew up as a coach's kid, and during that time I went to practices. I rode on the bus with my dad. He was the varsity coach, and generated a love for basketball. And as I went on to school and was finished with playing at UW-La Crosse, I thought I really would enjoy coaching, and it's been a lifelong passion, and I'm happy I was a coach.
Shaw began his coaching career at Kewaskum High School for about 3 years and then proceeded to coach at Winneconne and then Whitefish Bay for about 10 years before coming to Pulaski in 2009.
Well, you know, certainly you can think of the big wins, or you can also think of the real tough losses. Both have memories. But I guess my answer to that question simply would be, you're always working with a team to reach its potential. And when you have a team at the end of the season, you can look back and figure that maybe they even went beyond that potential where they thought they could be. That's very meaningful and memorable, and really most enjoyable for coaches. Great question. Currently, I work with my daughter's 8th grade team once a week. I do one of their practices, and that's interesting to get involved in girls basketball and at a middle school level. But I enjoy it. It's fun to work with Coach Bach at the middle school and see the kids progress. Other than that, I continue to watch basketball on TV. I come to the Pulaski home games and try to watch as many games as I can. And you know, I'm a lifelong learner of basketball, so I take notes, I watch games, and I enjoy it. I think when you're a varsity high school coach, people might not really understand the time that it takes for preparation, in season, off season. It's a lot of time. And I was fortunate enough, my wife was a prototype coach's wife. She allowed me to do what I really love to do, and so some things fell on her a little bit, and she was willing to do that. So I'm ever thankful for that opportunity. But it does take a lot of time away from family. Well, it's a good question. I think we spent a lot of time in the last years here at Pulaski talking about great teammate, tough competitor. And what does that look like on the court as a basketball player and within the basketball team? But working with kids on thinking about what those two things are off the court, certainly in the workforce as they get older and they become young adults and professionals, if those two things can stick with them and allow them to be a good employee, being a great teammate and a tough competitor. I think teamwork, again, being that great teammate, and I've been so fortunate over the years to have teams that just bought into good players, good teamwork, working together, striving for a common goal, and then that makes things easy. Then I get to fine-tune that. I don't have to start from scratch. So I've been blessed in that area.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw, for your time and efforts you put into the Pulaski boys basketball program. Your work has changed the culture of Pulaski basketball for the better.
Congratulations, Mr. Shaw, on your achievement. Pulaski thanks you for your service to the basketball program.
Speaking of sports, it's time for this week's edition of the Raider Sports Report with Caitlin and Alyssa.
The boys basketball team traveled to Sheboygan North last Friday, but unfortunately couldn't come away with a win, losing 58-74. The team's rescheduled matchup against Bayport was on Monday, and the Raiders fell just short of a victory, losing 70-72. They bounced back on Tuesday night against Sheboygan South at home, downing the Red Wings 89-54. They will look to build on the success tonight at home against the visiting Green Bay Preble Hornets.
Last Thursday, the girls' basketball team fell short 35-45 against the Sheboygan North Golden Raiders. They bounced back Tuesday night, beating Sheboygan South 38-20. They will be back in action Friday when they travel to Green Bay to take on the Hornets.
The boys' swim Ashwaubenon Invitational from last week Tuesday was rescheduled to next Tuesday at Ashwaubenon High School.
This past weekend, the Pulaski dance team qualified for state in 3 routines: pom, kick, and jazz. Congratulations to Anna Friedman and Elizabeth Salerno for their 9th place finish in their all-state duet. Emma Kranick and Elizabeth Salerno qualified for all-state and will be competing their solos this weekend. The dance team will be leaving today at 9:30 for state in lacrosse. Good luck, dance team, and bring home the hardware.
The boys wrestling team had a chance to clinch the conference against the Bayport Pirates, but ended up losing 39-28. They take on Ashwaubenon on Thursday. There is also a Pulaski invite this weekend.
The girls' wrestling team ended up losing their first meet against Bayport 41-28. They also participated in the Bayport Invitational this past weekend.
This past weekend, the boys hockey team traveled to Notre Dame to take on the Tritons, losing a tough game 0-5. On Monday, they hosted Appleton United, winning 3-0, bringing their overall record to 10-9. Next Monday, they are back in action facing off against the KMMO Revers.
Last Saturday, the girls' hockey team traveled to Eau Claire to take on the ECA Stars. The long journey resulted in a 3-1 victory for the team, improving their overall record to 18-1. Faye Brunke led the way for the Ice Bears, scoring 2 of the team's 3 goals. They are back in action tonight at Cornerstone, facing off against Arrowhead.
That is all we have for you for this week's Raider Sports Report. Good luck to the winter athletes on the rest of their winter season.
Thanks, Caitlin and Alyssa. Keep up the great work, winter athletes.
Hey, Riley,
Hey, what?
is it caramel or caramel?
It's obviously caramel.
I totally agree with you. However, some people think differently. I think Sage and Emma went around to talk to people on how they pronounce words.
Hi, I'm Sage.
And I'm Emma.
And we had quite the argument before. Hey Emma, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Oh, I had pancakes and syrup.
What did you say?
pancakes and syrup?
It's syrup!
Anyway, we decided to see how you guys pronounce syrup and caramel.
It's still syrup. And caramel! Do you pronounce syrup or syrup?
Syrup.
Caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Syrup or syrup? Syrup.
No.
Caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Yeah. Syrup or syrup?
Syrup.
Carter, caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Syrup or syrup?
Syrup. Syrup.
Syrup.
Caramel or caramel?
This is a weird answer, but I feel like if it's flavored, I say caramel flavor. But if it's a candy, I would say a caramel.
That's valid. Syrup or syrup?
Syrup.
Caramel or caramel?
Both. I say both.
Syrup or syrup?
How do I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Syrup. If you say syrup, incorrect.
No!
Syrup. We're down south or what?
Thank you, Emma and Sage. Even though half of those people are wrong, it's still cool to say what they have to say.
Lunch for today is Pizza Choice chicken cordon bleu sandwich or a Big Mac wrap with sides of green peppers, baked beans, tossed salad, and grapes.
That's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in.
Make it a great day and a fun weekend, Raiders.